Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Probably going to be another short one, or I'm going to try to make it short because once again, as I'm working, I'm listening to the Senate impeachment hearings. Today is the first day of 2 days of questions and answers. Two questions that come to my mind. Number one, how did Adam Schiff ever get to be a lawyer? I just find some of his reasoning and his analogies just bizarre. I don't have time to go into a lot of detail. My second question is, well, it's one of the arguments that Schiff made for why they did such an incomplete job, a terrible job in the House, felt they had to rush everything, get it over to the Senate in time for Christmas. And, well, he never talked about why they afterwards delayed for a whole month, but his argument was that they had to get everything done. They had to get Trump impeached, driven out of office before the November election because Trump would steal the election. Even though, well, I guess they're still in denial. They didn't read or they won't accept the Mueller report. They're still claiming that Trump stole the 2016 election, which we now know he didn't. The whole argument is absurd, but I am hoping the questioning has only just begun. You've got the rest of today, and then you've got 8 more hours tomorrow. I would hope somebody would ask the obvious question: if the House were to take the time necessary to do the job right, and if the time stretched into the next election, and if Trump were to be reelected, is there any reason why Trump could not be impeached then for having stolen the 2020 election, or for whatever reason they want to, make up, like they're making up reasons this time? The precedent, obviously, is Bill Clinton. He was impeached in his second term, so obviously it's possible. So I just wanted to get those 2 quick points out about the impeachment hearings. And now on to the main subject. I'm going to try to be brief again, and some of you may be appreciating that I'm going to be brief. Trump yesterday, he unveiled his deal of the century, his plan for Israeli and Palestinian peace. There were 3 Arab countries. Saudi Arabia was one of them. I think Bahrain was one of the other ones too, or Oman. I don't remember, but definitely Saudi Arabia. They endorsed the plan, so there are Arab countries endorsing the plan. The Palestinians, on the other hand, have rejected the plan. But having said that, it's been notable that you hear this all the time. If Trump recognizes Jerusalem as Israel's capital, moves the embassy, if America does this, America does that, that the Arab street will explode, that the Palestinians will explode, that there will be violence. But actually, the reaction among the Palestinians has been actually pretty muted. In fact, there was a strike called, a general strike called, and the merchants are not obeying that strike, at least in the Palestinian Authority. I'm not sure about Gaza. I just know for sure the Palestinian Authority. Abbas called for a general strike, and the merchants are not striking. But I talked about just now the Palestinians rejecting the peace plan, but you know who else is rejecting it? The Arab Israelis. The Arab Israelis are rejecting the plan, but for an entirely different reason. What is that reason? I'm just going to read you some quotes here, and then I'm going to have to get out of here. So here is the headline: Arab Israelis reject Trump's, quote, transfer, unquote, plan. And that word transfer is very important because they are not talking about a peace plan. They are not talking about the general terms of the plan in its entirety. They're talking about just the transfer portion of the plan. Let me just give you some quotes here. Arab Israelis have reacted with anger, disbelief, and sarcasm to U.S. President Donald Trump's idea of swapping the area known as the Triangle into a future Palestinian state. Unveiled on Tuesday, Trump's plan for Mideast peace, known as the, quote, deal of the century, unquote, leaves open the possibility that Israel will swap Arab communities into the Palestinian state if and when it is established. Several Arab citizens, community leaders, and politicians condemned the talk about placing their cities and villages under Palestinian control as racist and dangerous. Abdel Jabbar and many Arab citizens said they do not believe that the plan would work. Quote, we're not against a Palestinian state, but this plan aims to revoke the citizenship of hundreds of thousands of Arabs simply because we're not Jewish, unquote, he added. Quote, we are citizens of Israel and we want to remain so. I personally don't want to live under the Palestinian Authority, which is perfectly understandable. I mean, what sensible Arab, let's be honest, would? Quote, no one believes this delusional plan can be implemented, unquote, he said. Quote, we were born here and we will stay here. We are citizens of Israel, not enemies, unquote. And that's it for today. I'll let the quotes pretty much speak for themselves, except to note that it's interesting that we have Israel haters, especially in the West, calling Israel an apartheid state, but here you have Israeli Arabs saying that if they have to choose between living under this supposedly apartheid Israeli government and living under the Palestinian Authority, that they prefer Israel. And that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? There's a comment section below the video. You can also, in that same comment section, ask any questions that you might have, suggest future topics. You could subscribe. I would love for you to subscribe. And finally, come back and see me again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.